I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also all the places of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. And I hear babies cry, I watch them grow, they'll learn much more I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Great job, Barbara. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Frank.
And welcome, everybody, and especially welcome new listeners. Always glad to have new listeners join us. My name is Frank Barron, and I'll serve as your facilitator today. And first we have our daily word. The daily word for today is guidance. Divine wisdom helps me discover my unique spiritual path. Tending to my spiritual life keeps me attentive to the whispers of my heart and in tune with my guidance. I am grateful for those moments when I can rely on my spiritual intuition to discern my path forward. But sometimes my guidance feels far away and hard for me to access on my own. At those times, I may seek the assistance of trusted friends and advisors. I may seek the wise counsel of my minister or a spiritual counselor who encourages me to discover the wisdom found in the depths of my own consciousness. Excuse me. She, he, or they pray with me, listen with empathy, and share my joy as my innate wisdom leads me along my unique spiritual path. I am grateful for those who walk the path alongside me. And from the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 14, verse 26, we have, but the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all that I have said to you. Guidance. Divine wisdom helps me discover my unique spiritual path. And now for our mission statement. If you know the words, feel free to read them along, say them along with me. We are a loving, nurturing community dedicated to being a positive path to spiritual living, to awaken the oneness with God within us all. We have a few announcements today. For anyone wishing to be added to our prayer list or wanting to add someone to the list, please email Tom at his email address, which is TSCHEINLER, Scheinler at yahoo.com. And check out our website. You can see the weekly announcements, and all our talks are archived there. In case there is something you want to look back and reflect upon, you can find it there. And please note our new mailing address, because the box number was given incorrectly before. So our new mailing address is Unity of the Seacoast, P.O. Box 1676, Dover, New Hampshire, 03821. In Charlie's Meditation, the first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. If you missed it last Monday, we added it to our website. You can view it there. Also, if you'd like a tax letter for your donations from last year, please email Tom. And he will add it, and you will get it to Lynn. Again, his email address is tscheinler at yahoo.com. That's TSCHEINLER at yahoo.com. And on January 16th, join us as our Bev Raymond will administer a white stone ceremony. That's on January 16th. We'll also be having our annual meeting on January 16th. We encourage each of you to join us. That is next week, and we need your participation. So if you are a member or someone who occasionally listens, we hope you'll join us for your input. We also have been broadcasting live to YouTube on our YouTube channel. Just type in Unity of the Seacoast in your YouTube search button. We will eventually have many of the past services archived there as well. On January 30th, I will be the speaker. God help us. Oh, yes, that's me. Please tune in for that. Thank you. Now then. Now it's time to introduce our speaker, my friend, Tom Scheinler. Tom is a fine friend. He's a true guide and a spiritual being. Please welcome Tom Scheinler.
Hi, folks. A little early for me. We have the Namaste. And our Zoom fellowship meeting is after the service at 818-6915-9728. And Frank, I'll let you do the Namaste, and then Barbara will play.
Thank you, Tom. Yes, this is the time that we greet each other with the Sanskrit word Namaste. And Namaste means the divine in me sees and acknowledges the divine in you. So if you're with someone, turn to them, or you turn to us on your screen and say, Namaste. Now,
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul, the shadows on the hills. Sketch the trees and daffodils, catch the breeze and winter chills, colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds and violet haze, reflecting Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, for they could not love you, still your love was true. And when no hope was left in sight on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, the world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like strangers that you've met. Ragged men in ragged clothes, silver thorn of bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
Another wonderful job. Thank you, Barbara. We thank you for sharing your skill and your talent with us.
Thank you, Frank.
Now it is indeed time for me to introduce our speaker, Tom Scheinler. Tom is truly a spiritual leader, an inspiring teacher, and a true friend. Please welcome Tom Scheinler.
Thank you, Frank. How are you today?
I'm hanging on with both hands and doing the best I can. How are you?
Good.
Happy
good.
New Year.
Barbara, again, I think of inspiring songs, and that's in my top 5, as long as I can remember.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've always been inspired by Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I have a painting that I did in his style that I did. It's called Road to Cyprus. I've always loved him, and I love that song because it's an ode to him.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. And really, thanks for that song. Every time. I say it every week, but I'm most sincere each time.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, folks. Today's service is going to be a little different. I'm going to try doing some screen sharing of stuff, so it may get clunky. And please forgive me on that. I had a whole other talk prepared, and perhaps it was a good one. It was about setting intentions, but somehow I didn't feel connected to the talk. My heart wasn't flowing through it, and I did not feel God coming through me. So I decided to type "inspire me" into my search engine. I must tell you, I was disappointed. I got home decor sites and clothing sites and sites about inspiring corporate people who are not very inspiring at all. So what inspires me? Well, I know home decor doesn't, online clothing doesn't, and how to become a more productive person in the corporate world doesn't. In fact, I'm probably more inspired by the fact that I can check those things off the list. And it turns out a lot of inspirational quotes don't do it for me either. And those inspirational pictures of like stacked rocks on a beach, they do nothing for me. And I received a call this week from a friend, and we chatted about life, some serious stuff and some fun stuff. And that inspired me. Why did that inspire me? And stuff designed to inspire me did not? Connection. When I was talking to him, I felt connected. And I watch the news, I speak with people, and there seems to be an underlying current of disconnect. You know, the political rifts that I don't understand. Now, this past year, we lost Bob Dole, Colin Powell. Now, I'm not a conservative at all, but I could respect them because they were grounded in a value system. They had a moral center. They were willing to work with the other side. I don't see this today. I know it has to be there, yet I just don't see it. And I remember when I was young, having faith in our leaders. I had faith in Ford's values. I had faith in Carter's. I had faith in the Bush's values. I began with faith in Clinton's, but I lost that. But there always seemed to be the ability to reach across the aisle and know that things would get done. I'm not inspired by them anymore because I don't feel they're connected to me or me to them. I remember thinking people with religious convictions were worthy of some kind of great respect, and that's eroded. So many religious beliefs seem to dictate a hardline position. Has it all changed, or was I just naive? There's a sense of standing up for personal rights, but now that sense seems to be at the cost of the lives of others. I'm always suspect when people standing up for their own rights means someone else has to die. By that I mean students in schools or in malls or shopping centers, walking down the street. The guns are used to kill, but the discussion about not killing never happens. I'm not anti-gun, but I'm surely anti-guns being used to kill people. You know, this logic that guns don't kill people, people kill people. It doesn't fly when nobody sits down at the table to discuss how not to kill people. It's like that drugs don't kill people. It's people selling drugs and taking drugs. Yet we clearly understand that we need to keep many drugs illegal. Why do we not see this with guns in the same light? We're in a global pandemic. Yet we act as if our rights have been violated by a disease. I'm not wearing a mask because I won't. I wear mine for you, for my wife, my family, my friends, people I don't know in my neighborhood. I would hope people would wear one for me. Why me? Well, would you save my life if I was caught in a fire or in danger? Would you push me out of harm's way? Well, folks, I'm in harm's way. I've had 2 organ transplants. I'm on immunosuppressants. So you wonder, what are the odds of you coming into contact with someone like me? Well, 30,000 people each year get an organ transplant. So there's a good chance you're going to run into someone like me. And then you throw in all the other reasons people are susceptible. Diabetes, anyone on prednisone or a steroid to control inflammation or breathing, the elderly. Yet somehow the thought of wearing a mask is a violation of a right. Does not restrict you from movement or free speech. Doesn't even restrict you from going in to buy a gun to kill someone. Are we so disconnected from others that we see standing up for another's right to live as a violation of our own right? And I realize there's a lot of disconnect going on. I've witnessed mean things said to others without the thought of what the other person might be going through. Signs with F this and F that with no respect for the kids who might read it. I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling this. There's a sense of disconnect. And I realize that I'm not inspired because I'm not connecting to that which is out there. What do I look at? What do I read? If I don't connect to the things that connect my emotions to others, then how can I be inspired? I still believe that for every act of meanness, every act of empathy or apathy, there's 1,000 acts of love. But it's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil. And unless we seek these moments, we'll miss them. So how do we seek these moments? I'm going to play a video right now.
Was like, oh my God, looks like my twin. The truth is, he's been an incredible partner and brother to me. It's been an honor, Uso, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I love you, I thank you, and enjoy your new truck. No, man. What? Oh, You're welcome, brother. Damn. 17 years of him giving his blood, his sweat. I mean, this small token of my appreciation. We love you, brother. I love you too. Yeah. Besides what? Put them on, man.
You good? You need them.
Well,
You got some more in the car, don't you?
yeah, I got some more in the car. God bless you, man. Get yourself together, man. Get off up there, man. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Don't worry
It's
about it,
cold out here.
man. Go get some brother. All right, man. Gonna be all right? Gonna be all right. Don't cry, man. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, bro. Get yourself together, man.
You all right?
It's gonna be all right, man. Don't cry, man. It's gonna be all right. Just
Okay.
keep praying and go. You're going blessings, all right? Love you, man.
God is good. You just never know what nobody going through.
We comedians. It's not illegal. We comedians. But I saw
My husband just died a week ago. We weren't like this. Oh my God. I didn't ask nobody for nothing. I didn't even ask him.
You ain't got to cry. You all right.
Oh my God.
You okay? We got love for you. This is it. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Take care. We got to take care of each other.
How did you guys, how did you,
heard you at the pump. And he told me that you had paid for your gas and penny, so I had to show up. It's only right. We got to stay together.
Like,
Take care of yourself.
God bless you. How do I thank you or repay
Oh,
you?
you don't have to, man. Forward. That's for you. That's for you, man.
Oh my God. I guess he doesn't count. Everyone says he's watching you and watching
Yeah,
you.
definitely watching out with little fight, but we were short. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
I hope you get stuff from that. Some of these videos say things that I just can't. But we need to seek out that which inspires us. And I mentioned I lost my aunt a couple weeks ago. She was an inspiration to me. And one less person to talk to. How important that is for me. I miss those emails, seeing her words. She had a way of morphing words to appear more Yiddish. For her, that was fun, and I felt that. She connected with me on a level that others in my family did not. It was a quality that many people felt about her. She listened and knew all the people that were in her life. And I think there were many that were close to her. She saw in me something I didn't see in myself. She saw it a long time ago when I was lost and insecure. I felt like I had nothing of value. Her connection to me began because she expected more from me by showing me more in myself. She loved culture. She loved art. She loved movies and plays and books. She loved wines and great meals. She loved simple things. She loved life to be interesting and meaningful. She could have easily been taken as upper crust, but she was not. For most of her working career, she was an English teacher in Paterson, New Jersey, one of the toughest places in the country. She loved her students, and I'm sure she inspired them the way she inspired me. She met a man from England, fell in love, and married. In this, the second half of her life, she became a Jewish scholar and lived on a spit of land in Cornwall, England, called Acton Veen. And for those who don't know, and why would you, but Acton Veen has a castle on it. And that castle was the neighboring property of my aunt's house. And their house held their own next to this castle. It was on a spit of land surrounded by water on three sides. The other side had the castle. And their view was the cliffs of England and the English Channel. I've been feeling that disconnect in limbo with the loss of her. Yet I still sense that connection. Because in people like my aunt, there is something that we all relate to. The truly good person who doesn't shy away from their values and allows life to unfold actively in wonderful fashion. That's a connection that we can all understand. You know, she could have been the underdog story, yet she refused to acknowledge being an underdog. And when you come from my family, it seemed like we were all underdogs, and yet she never accepted that role. She did not expect me to accept that role. Me, an insecure, depressed kid from Nutley, New Jersey, whose best skill seemed to be turning a wrench or whacking a nail with a hammer. She brought out discussions in me about Judaism and Christianity and art, politics, and books and people. She would read the text of my talks and comment about them, and I would read the text of hers and comment. My favorite interpretation of a Bible scripture is because she liked my interpretation. It was the fish with a silver coin in its mouth. The disciples need to pay a tax. And they ask Jesus, how do we raise money to pay the tax? And he tells them to go to the water and cast in a net, and they will find a fish with a coin in its mouth and use that to pay the taxes. My interpretation is that I contend there's no fish swimming around with a coin in its mouth. He was telling them to use what they know, because many were fishermen. Go catch enough fish to sell and pay the taxes. That made sense to my aunt, and she connected with it. And in doing so, she connected with me because I inspired her in that interpretation, and that in turn inspired me. So where else do I look for connection? I look for the good. Well, I first turn to Jesus. The reason is his message resonates. And it's not because of what past religions say. It's because he connects to something that we all can relate to. He engaged people. He hung out with people like we would, everyday people. He'd be more apt to hang out with the cook who was making a meal for the Pope than he would the Pope himself. And he would probably notice the hypocrisy of opulence when there were people around the world in need. He touched people. I mean, he actually laid his hands on those in need and connects and raises them. When you touch someone, it shows them that they are of value. And then he reaffirmed their value by telling them, your faith has healed you, or your faith has set you free. He walked with these people. He ate with them. He told stories that they can relate to. 2,000 years after these parables are told, they still have truths that we connect with. There's 40 times in the Bible that he has these interactions, over 40 times, from beggars to people with illnesses, to those who struggle with demons, to people who are deemed sinful, to politicians who struggle, to centurions, to the men dying on the cross next to him. Imagine the connection built when someone feels so low that she kneels down and washes his feet with her hair and her tears. And he recognizes that as the most loving gesture in the room. I look for empathy and recognition to others and other people. I watch sports. I watched them my whole life. I coach soccer. But the sport that moves me the most is track. Because it's an individual sport, training on an individual level. It's very self-focused. But is it? Time after time at my kids' events, when another kid struggled, help was offered and kids cheered. They recognized themselves in another's struggle. Kids would run from their celebration to cheer the person who was having difficulty finishing their event. YouTube is loaded with track runners who, seeing someone fall, forgo their chance at victory to help, to pick up the person and help them finish. Athletes do this at every level. It doesn't always make the news. LeBron James recognized a Boston fan that he had met at a Special Olympics event and ran over to greet him. Simple gesture, but it was moving considering it was in the middle of a game. Usain Bolt, the runner, over and over, taking time to make moments for the people working the events, walk up with fist bumps, and he would bring a box of souvenirs to give to them so their day was memorable. It's not just sports. How many of us were moved in June 2018 when we learned of the Thai boys soccer team trapped in the underground wells, underground caves? It's an amazing, heartwarming story. The best soldiers in the world, Navy SEALs from Thailand, from USA and elsewhere, came together. And in the beginning, egos butted heads because these are the best trained people in the world. Cave divers were turned away as old men who could do little, until the SEALs realized they themselves did not possess the skills. But these cave divers, who were loners, not good in team sports, introverts, but part of a small worldwide community of cave divers, they decided they had the skills. And they called all their friends and they all came. They actually came up with a plan to sedate the kids into unconsciousness so they wouldn't use too much oxygen and they wouldn't panic. The plan was considered crazy. But they had a small break in the rain and they knew that this was the only option because the other option was death. They had hope, but realistically, they expected loss of life. This small group of men did what the best trained crisis people in the world could not, because they acted as if each kid was their own until they got them out and delivered them to their real families. Every kid okay. That's the idea of the fish with the coin in its mouth. It's to use what you know. I'm going to try and share my next video. It gets a little clunky here, so bear with me.
for the adoption.
Really?
Yep.
You're lying.
Today's your day.
Can we go
Is that okay?
right now?
What do you think, Schuyler? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to get over right now.
We didn't want you to know it was right now.
Hey, bud! Hey, move! Hey, bud, move! Stop the train! Stop the train! Buddy, move! 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 Oh. Sergeant, be advised. Train stopped. Maybe employee moves. Sit down. Are you okay?
Where'd you come from?
Look.
Thank you.
So, what's your last
Oh
name?
my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, what's your last name?
There you go. So now technically your device is on. Can you tell? Oh, it's exciting. Or you can put it down for a second. Just get used to the sound. What does it sound like? Oh, you're so cry. Can you hear me? And you hear your voice? Does your voice sound pretty loud?
No, not really.
Well, that's good. My laughter sounds loud. Yeah, you'll get used to all of that over time.
I was a shelter vet. We were euthanizing, and this is the sad part for anyone that's a pet lover. We were euthanizing 50, 60 pets by 10 a.m. a day. Central California was hit the hardest, people losing their homes and have money, and they were dumping their pets in the shelter, right? They just had no choice. And it was during that 5 years that I really gained an appreciation for helping people who really needed the help. I mean, it's one thing to service the client who, you know, the older lady who has that bottomless bank account, right? Who can write the check for whatever her pet needs, her little poodle. But it's something different to do it for someone who can't afford it.
Because they keep me going. They make me get up and move and pack my stuff up because I know. Take care of it. This is my family. They love me.
He's a snake, but does he still feel like a companion? I mean, is he?
Oh, my best friend. The snake. Keeps me alive. Some people have the dogs, some people have cats. I choose to have a snake. Everybody you see on the street not here on because they're on drugs. Some people are mentally, emotionally disturbed, you know, or whatever the problem might be, but you find peace within.
I decided just on a whim to take it one step further, and I went out to an area where people were lining up for lunch. It was like a homeless food line, and a lot of them had pets. You know, they have their pets with them. And so I went out and I just set up a table. Anyone who had a pet, I just said, you know, come on over if you like. I'll take a listen. You know, look at the ears, treat for fleas, just basic care. But that was the moment for me when I saw that the joy on their face and the appreciation, the gratitude. Because for a lot of these people, that's all they have. You know, it is really the closest thing to them. It's a form of mental stability, protection, companionship. I said, well, I know where to find this group of people, but I know there's people living under bridges, living in alleys with their pets who, you know, have no access or wherewithal to find care. So I said, I'm just going to walk around.
Takes me a second to get out of that. You know, I often say to people, thank you for your kindness. And when I suggested that more people should do this, I was asked, how do you do this? It does not seem practical. You know, perhaps it's not practical, but it's only 3 extra words. And it brings attention to the person that their kindness matters and they're noticed. You know, it may not change their day, but perhaps it will. To save my life once, someone actually donated the organ of a lost loved one in their time of need. So if the least I can do now and then is to add 3 words to a thank you, then it's worth it. You know, what do we spend our time focusing on? What do we spend our time listening to? News may be okay, but is it leaving you feeling inspired? Or is it leaving you feel broken? Do you feel weighed down by the news? Do you feel yourself carrying it in your shoulders? You can lift. Being a kind and inspiring others can be part of your being because we all get to lift and we get to be lifted. We get to choose in each moment to be kind, and we get to choose what gets our attention. Why constantly give our attention to things that weigh us down? I did this talk today because this is something I needed. I needed to feel inspired. I needed to get out of this limbo. I'm going to do one more video. And I hope you guys enjoy it. You got to deal with the commercial. What do we know? That one did not seem to go.
Man, Ethan, yo, that's what's up, you heard? I gotta give it to you, bro. That's true love right there, you heard? That's real love. Huh? That's what's up, bro.
I can't wait to be there when you graduate. I can't wait to see you have the time of your life when you go to college. But most of all, Kylie, I look forward to the day I walk you down the aisle on the day you get married, because that's what fathers do. And the reason why I can say that is because today, with all of our family and friends, is the day I get to adopt you.
How's it? Where are your shoes? Come here. You say what? What happened?
Yeah, I was at my friend's house.
Yeah.
And then he chased me away.
Yeah.
So he stole all my clothes over.
Yeah.
So I had to grab my shoes and go.
Okay, so you're going to Albertine now?
Yeah.
But it's like kilometers away. How are you going to get there?
It's probably walk. And if someone offers me a lift, I would most probably take.
Like this, you don't have clothes, you don't have shoes. I'm trying to help you now. So you have parents?
No, my mother and father died.
Are you serious? How many hours have you been walking?
I don't know. I didn't check the time when I left.
Let's go there. I'll try to buy some clothes. I keep on forgetting. You said what size you are? 7. Okay, cool. The shoes are this size. It's fine. Okay. And the socks. Let's go check the socks. What size you wear up? Small. Okay, cool. Let's go. Okay, let's get a jacket. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, if you like it, check it. You go to the toilet to change and you put your new clothes on. You look great. You get new shoes now. All right, cool. Yeah. You're going to ask your friend to get the ID, then you're going to buy the phone. And then immediately when you get there, you call me. Do you understand? So that I know that you didn't get lost. Put it in a different pocket so that you don't lose my number. Take this one. Yeah. This one. You're gonna buy the small phone so that I can get you. Yes. Yeah. And this one's gonna help you along the way. Yeah. And this one. All right. Yeah. And this one is gonna help with transport with the taxi. So it's gonna be easier for you to get a change. Yes. So you get there and make sure when you get there, you call me. Okay. Listen, but it shows. All right, cool. It shows it. Yeah, take your stuff. All right, cool, man. See, don't rush. All right, cool, man. All right, sure. Let me check how much. That's not money, just 14. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, check this one. Sure. All right, sure.
I hope you guys got something out of this today. That last video mentioned that when you're kind to someone, it not only changes you, it changes the world. So what do you say we leave this service today and we change the world? Normally I would do the prayer for others, or I would do the prayer for tithes and offerings. But I just wanted to end on this. I wanted you guys to carry away something a little deeper than that at the moment. It's important to me. I can only give you the best of what I have in here, and I hope you're getting that. So I'd like to finish this service with the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin Let there be peace on earth, peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let there be peace on earth, let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, let it begin with me.